Hey, Kliq This fans, want to get closer to the show than ever? Join Kliq This TV. Kliq This TV offers early commercial-free access to wrestling's hottest podcast, plus live audience tapings of their show every friggin' week. Head to KliqThisTV.com now and get inside the show that's just too sweet.
The following podcast contains mature language and adult discussion.
Kliq This, the Kevin Nash podcast. 177 for those of you that like that stuff. Kev, never before did I think we might want to consider investment in the moon. And we got to talking a little bit today about kind of the future of technology. And you actually...
I think more AI than anything else.
Yeah.
Just the... And, you know, one of the things that I've, you know, came across in my deep dive into the AI is the amount of energy that's going to be needed to push this technology is going to make the initial mining of Bitcoin, you know, look like Thomas Edison's first fucking light bulb. I mean, it's.
You have a friend that thinks that's a more stable investment than he wants you to dump your Berkshire.
Dump my Berkshire and
grab a little Bitcoin.
Jump on Bitcoin that's down eight points for the year. And down, if I'm not mistaken, didn't it start at 123 at the beginning of this month?
I don't know.
And I think it's at what?
If it did, then it's down.
Is it?
Jesus, 123. Okay, so I can't see that for shit. Let's say, Steve. Zoom, cameraman. Okay, so it went as high as 115.
So go 1 month.
Yeah, that's 1 month. So 115, it looks like it was at its peak.
No, it was 123 at one point.
That peak there. Go to the axis. Go to the y-axis. 115 is the top of the graph.
Yeah, but that's it was in the 120s.
Maybe it was beyond. Maybe it was before the month.
No.
There's a peak there.
What's that at?
123.
Yeah,
okay,
123.
So, and that was October 5th, so a month and a half ago.
So
don't
tell me, don't fucking try to fucking. I spend too much fucking time on this shit.
Way too much. You said a month. We looked at a month. It was a month.
All right.
Well, so we're at 89 today? 87?
86, I think.
86, right?
Oh, it's 87 now.
It got a little bump. 86.
Well, I mean, it trades 24/7, so there's never really a. But if you go year to date, it's what is it down 7%? Okay,
yeah,
now it's 6.6, and Berkshire Hathaway is up 11.5.
That's a 17-point swing.
Yeah, so I think I'll
accept.
Think I'll sit where I'm at, knowing that Berkshire just fucking bought I want to think fucking $17 billion worth of fucking Alphabet, which is Google, which owns Waves, which is going to be the engine that is used in all the unmanned automated vehicles. So I think that Mr. Buffett put one in the fucking hole from 175 yards out with a 9-iron before he fucking calls it a fucking career.
See, and that's the thing. It's when you look down the road, we started talking about the moon, okay, and we're talking about the future of AI, and actually it was Jeff Bezos' quote that you were telling me about earlier that I found in.
Well, he was the one that, but that's not the one that. There's two companies, and Steve, if you've heard this, please chime in, because I'm reading this at like 3:00 in the morning, and by the time you go up and down the rabbit holes, you're trying. It's like it's hard to digest. But all of a sudden, I read where that they've, in theory, have the ability to use protons as an energy source. And protons are basically what electricity would be an incandescent light bulb, and what a proton would be the sun. So you're talking about that kind of difference, and a proton has no waste, produces no heat. So when you get to that, if somebody actually has that technology and they can implement it, it kind of takes everybody else and puts them in like they're back to fucking making a wheel.
Yeah. And the people listening now you're thinking of AI in the typical, like the shit where you make your dog look human right now on your phone. You have to push out 50 years. Just think about the internet, right? Like in 95, when it was the coolest shit to go into a chat room and there were 20 people around the globe typing to each other. And like your concept of the internet and what we'd be dependent on, it was non-existent then. So what they're talking about here is that they believe the next generation of AI will demand such enormous computing power that the data centers that like we have now are going to be ineffective, and the amount of space and power, like Kevin was saying, that would be required would be impossible and unsafe anywhere right here. So,
not
that's
only
why
that,
the moon came up.
We couldn't produce what they need for AI and produce what the human race needs to live.
No, the grid would not be able to handle any of that.
And to take it another step, part of the Tesla package of $1 trillion to Elon was he had to produce 1 million robots. That's part of that's part of one of his, I think he's got 10 years to do that. I think it's 2 million, it may be it may be even more than that, but I know it's like, I think it's 2 million automated cars, so many actual e-vehicles, and then a million robots. So when we're talking about AI and we're talking about robots, now you take and you've got a workforce of 7.5 million robots. These robots don't take a break, work 24/7. So now you're looking at productivity. They don't make mistakes.
Yeah.
You teach them to be your physicians. They're doing all the surgeries. They're like, so there's no longer malpractice. So everything that we take and you put it into that form, to me the next thing is like, okay, like who's in charge of Skynet? Like when the Terminator comes back, who's in charge of this fucking like it becomes.
Well, that's a good question. How do you divide a space? You know, like who's got terrain, who's got say over terrain on the moon? Or Musk is actually, what I was reading, I want to credit the source here. I was getting a lot of this from the Times Times of India in their tech section from November 20th. I want to quote, Musk is planning AI servers powered by solar-equipped Starlink satellites deployed in orbit. So it'd be like a floating power source almost.
Yeah, it would be like giant space stations that are, are supplying endless power, again with no, like what Bezos said was manufacturing will be done on the moon, living will be done on Earth. And that goes into the universal basic income, that when all the jobs are done by machines, then you still have to, like, what do? We just basically are going to be what, a consumer base? Like,
well,
you're talking about
now?
you're talking about Gates, when Gates said, in order for this to work, we need to lose 3 billion people. Like, there's a lot of fucking ways that could happen real quick. Especially if everybody's got, 7-10 million fucking robots. I mean,
to give you an idea of the power requirement, Kev, according to this article, tech leaders are speaking in terms of hundreds of gigawatts or even terawatts, far exceeding the energy consumption of many entire nations to power servers for this. I mean, it's beyond our conception, but it's gonna be a reality.
And they're already got blueprints for one in Wisconsin, and they're going to fucking use the Great Lake, Lake Michigan, as the water source to cool this fucking thing. And just like, wow, let's take fucking a fifth of the fresh water on our planet and fuck it up.
It's a natural resource, yeah. It's just, boy.
I don't know, man. I hope that, I hope that they really have worked out some way to get through that Van Allen fucking radiation belt.
And how dangerous is the output of that much energy? Like
how about
a power leak or something, a short.
How about that fucking power grid that they've got in Texas? I think they built in 23. I mean, come on, like, down here in Florida, fucking, we get a 30-mile-an-hour wind and we don't have fucking power for fucking 3 days. Like, none of this shit's put underground. Even we still got fucking poles with fucking wires all over the country.
Yeah.
I watched today on Instagram a bunch of people standing by this platform, and everybody's got these tripods out with these cameras, and I'm like, what the fuck are they looking at? I'm waiting for like a tsunami or something to come over this bridge, and fucking this lightning bolt goes by, and it's this new Japanese train that goes 310 miles an hour.
Where are they doing this?
Japan.
Yeah.
310. China's got one that'll go 360. And China's got 42,000 kilometers of track. We got Amtrak and a train going 11.
Can't keep those on the rails.
Fuck no.
I mean, Europe, the speed trains in Europe have been, how old are they?
Well, I mean, Italy just redid their whole system. They've got, because Tamara and I, when we were in Italy, they hadn't opened it yet, but I think in June or July they were going to open a direct high-speed Berlin to Rome.
Oh, okay.
And it was like 4 fucking hours.
That's insane.
Yeah.
I took the one in Italy that does Italy. I don't know if it goes beyond, but I know you can go from like, they go through the channel, right? The English channel. So you can go from UK to Paris, right?
Yeah, to
like
Paris, and then
France
we went. So when we went over there with T, we flew to London. We went train from UK to Paris. We took a train from Paris to Munich, and a train from Munich to Rome.
Yeah, that's great. You get access to the entire continent in a short amount of time. But like you're saying, I mean, shit be moving.
But so we were talking about the universal basic income. So, Steve, what is that based on? Like I know that everybody would get us basically like a salary to fucking just. But like,
most popular versions of a UBI has an amount of money by which you're guaranteed. So let's just, for easy math, say $100,000. If we did it today, it would be less.
Okay.
But let's say everyone is guaranteed $100,000. If you want to work, you should work because you want to work. So if you do a job that pays less than $100,000, like teacher, some in the medical profession, lots of nurses, you do that, and then the government pays you the difference. And if you want to make more than $100,000, we're still capitalist. That's the general idea of a UBI.
So I can still sling rock.
Absolutely. You got to pay your taxes, though.
Well, I'm down with that. I just run it through my company.
I thought you were talking about a UTI for a minute, and
no, that's just drink some cranberry juice.
Yeah.
But so they've dismantled the Department of Education, and now it's no longer like, what have they done they've done something to the categorization of like nurse practitioners, like certain technicians, where they're no longer. Fuck, man. I just was reading this when I was taking a deuce, and I hate to bring up shit that I'm not totally, but if I can all I want to do is create enough curiosity for somebody to fucking do some Googling besides me. But this was just today, and I saw a bunch of Instagrams with nurses and nurse practitioners stating that they were basically being dropped, and it was like categorically, so it's not able to be student loaned. Like you can't get a student loan for these positions. And it's like one of them is in nursing, which we've got such a fucking a need for. And once again, they've taken the Department of Education, and I want to think that they took K through 12 and took that responsibility and gave it to the fucking Department of Labor. So if anybody wants to just look at how fucked up shit is, just look at the Department of Education and see where it's being divided up to. And originally it was supposed to be to the states, and it's not.
So, well, it's only when it's convenient. It's states. Steve, I sent you a link to the Newsweek article I'm going to quote here from one day ago, Kev. Nursing is no longer counted as a professional degree by Trump administration. Department of Education has excluded nursing as a professional degree program as it sets about implementing various measures regarding student loans laid out by President in one big, beautiful bill. The move has sparked significant uproar among nurses and nursing groups, with the American Nurses Association saying, as reported by Nursing World, quote, that limiting nurses' access to funding for graduate education threatens the very foundation of patient care. I'm looking for a fucking reason for this.
Because if we talk about this, we can't talk about the Epstein files.
Is it the shiny thing on the other side of the room? Currently,
It's the
260,000
loans.
students.
They just don't want them to. And it's just like, just to hear somebody say that a nurse is not a professional, it's like, what? And when you go to a doctor in Florida, you're lucky to see a doctor. All you see is nurse practitioners.
Yeah, all over the place.
And they fucking all got fucking script pads.
Yeah.
So it's like, how the fuck do you backpedal that? Is that something you do in the middle of the night, like the fucking Delta 9 and the fucking hemp, and you just fuck shit up, you know? I guess that's what happens when you decide you're going to fucking be a pedophile. I mean, you don't give a fuck. I mean, when you make that fucking move in your life, that you're going to watch child pornography and go after fucking nine. I'm sorry, maybe it's the Megyn Kelly version of pedophilia, which is not really pedophilia because they are 14 to 17. Because I know that at 66, that makes a big fucking difference.
Yeah. This is all, it's all part of the great money grab, Kev. It's that, make no mistake, folks, all of this budget cutting and trimming and waste and fat, we're cutting out. The fucking deficit swelled to what so far? What, 1.8? 1.8.
But I think 700 billion of that is interest.
Whatever the fuck. This is all to finance the big money grab in the tax break, offsetting that 4.7 trillion for that tax
No, I mean,
break.
it's you can't you can't
the
take in less.
No way.
I mean, it's just simple fucking math. This administration is by far the worst mathematicians I've remember when Oz came up there and said that we had to lose like 175 billion fucking pounds or some shit, and it came out to everybody, each American had to lose 379 pounds. I'm like, what fucking idiot writes that on a fucking 3x5 and fucking puts it and then doesn't do the fucking math, doesn't go to fucking his app that says calculator and just one time pound it out?
They know their followers don't do math.
Jesus, man, it's just like,
Kev, if you're doing that, you're a math guy because of your your interest in the markets and whatnot, and you don't have to whip out an abacus, by the way,
no.
or a calculator.
Though I have been fucking trained in the early 60s on the abacus.
You don't have to whip one out to know that if I offered you right now free steak in every box you get from ButcherBox for a year.
Are we peddling something?
That you're more, yes, Raven, that you're more than going to make your money back for your investment there. And that's exactly what ButcherBoxes do. I'm leading with the call to action this week. Sorry, guys. Sorry, ad department. Sorry, Dave Green. I'm sorry. I'm starting with this. This is my bait. This is my lead. Free goddamn steak in every box for a year, plus $20 off your first order from ButcherBox. Yeah, I'm talking about, you choose it, filet mignon, New York strip, or ribeye into every box for a year. What is ButcherBox? Well, ButcherBox is your source for meats. This year, Kev was just talking about getting out to the grill a little bit, right?
I'm just waiting for
once
hurricanes.
you get done with hurricane,
Yeah, once
exactly.
hurricane season, and I mean this is grass fed.
Yes, 100% grass fed, and it gets shipped frozen. It can go right in your freezer. You don't have to worry about ordering an abundance of meats. You might be planning holiday meals now, or maybe you're just trying to get your own household fed. ButcherBox is going to make it easy. Quality proteins delivered when you need them, and you can spend less time shopping, more time celebrating. They deliver over 100 premium protein choices straight to your door. 100% grass-fed beef, free-range organic chicken, pork raised crate-free, and wild-caught seafood. For nearly a decade, ButcherBox has led the industry with meat and seafood that's antibiotic-free, hormone-free, independently verified. It's cleaner, more trustworthy, better than you'd find in a grocery store, delivered right to your door. So let me remind everyone, exclusive offer for our listeners, free steak in every box for a year, plus $20 off your first box when you go to butcherbox.com/Nash. You got to put the Nash in it, or you're not going to get that deal. That's right. Your choice, filet mignon, New York strip, ribeye in every box for an entire year, plus $20 off your first box. Free shipping always. butcherbox.com/Nash. Don't forget to use that link so they know we sent you, and you get everything I'm promising you. Kev.
This goes against everything Maria Muldaur sang about.
Get what? Who the fuck is that?
Do you remember Maria Muldaur? She sang that song "Midnight at the Oasis."
Oh.
But she also had a song that it ain't the meat, it's the motion, it's the movement that gives it the sock. This is wrong because it's all about the meat. It's all about the meat with ButcherBox.
I have no problem telling you guys that I love my meat, taking my meat out of the box, sticking my meat in the box, taking meat out of the box. Kevin Spacey's homeless. I read today he lost his Baltimore home, I think valued at, he confirmed this, $16 million.
How much?
To bankruptcy. And he is now.
How much is his home worth?
I think it was 16, I want to say. Where is that? I'll get confirmation in this article, but
you know what?
He's singing in Cyprus for a living.
Living above your means.
Well, it wasn't at one time.
Well, no. If you're fucking, you got a house worth 16, and you don't have enough equity in it where you can't. I mean, you should have 9 at least.
Well, he's singing standards at a nightclub in Cyprus.
The country Cyprus?
Yes. For money.
I thought maybe he was opening for Cypress Hill Gang.
No, that would be dope. That would be fresh. We'd get him at the gathering of the Juggalos. He said, quote, "I'm living in hotels. I'm living in Airbnbs. I'm going where the work is. I literally have no home.
I guess it's my job to be his Tarantino."
You know, it's funny you say that. He said in this article, and this is what I wanted to ask you about. He said, I mean, it was a little shameless. I guess he's in a desperate situation right now. He quoted Kirk Douglas's embrace of the writer Dalton Trumbo, who was blacklisted during the big McCarthy thing. And he said, quote, "When Douglas said Dalton Trumbo's name is going on Spartacus, everyone around him said, 'You're crazy. You're going to get canceled.' And Kirk Douglas said, 'You know what? We get to play the hero in the movies, but it's not that simple in life.' He was willing to stand up and say, 'Enough's enough.' The moment he did that, the blacklist was over." And he said, quote, "So my feeling is if Martin Scorsese or Quentin Tarantino call Evan," that's his manager, "tomorrow, it'll be over. I'll be incredibly honored and delighted when that level of talent picks up the phone." He's insisting that his redemption will come in the offer of a role from a Hollywood powerhouse. Can it happen today? Is it too... Now, I want to point out, as we discuss this, he was not convicted of anything.
No.
He was accused. One of the charges wasn't even brought to trial. They weren't even going to try it. And then that second case came apart in light of allegations that messages on the accuser's iPhone had been deleted. So he was found not guilty of one, and then the other one wasn't brought. But are we in a place where a Kevin Spacey can appear on film and people would be okay with watching it? Now, he was accused of being a little handsy with an actor who was 14 at the time.
Well, I know Megyn Kelly wouldn't have a problem with it.
No, clearly not. It's that 14 to 17
14,
range
that's
she's all about.
Absolutely. That's that Arkansas hillbilly fucking, that's just, hell, it's just your cousin. She's 14.
Ah, yeah.
Motherfucker.
Kev, what about you? Would you appear in a film? You get film offers all the time.
None to pay.
None enough to get you out of the house. But would you appear in a film with Kevin Spacey? No, you wouldn't share a dressing room with him, but would you appear in a film with him?
It would. Number one, it would depend on the film. It would depend on my role. Yeah. I wouldn't.
But would you have a moral aversion to being in a movie with Kevin Spacey?
No.
Okay.
And I also, I mean, if he was guilty, I wouldn't go near him.
Right.
But I would also work in a Roman Polanski film.
Right.
Because I think that's,
Well, so where do you separate the man from the artist? It's like, how much do you know about your plumber who comes over to work on your house? I mean, maybe there's stuff in his past you wouldn't even want him in your house, but we're not privy to that. So in entertainment, we find out everything. Is it our business to know that, Burt Reynolds cheated on Lonnie Anderson? So we're not going to watch Evening Shade anymore? To pull out a contemporary reference. Is it our business to know who's fucking who? Now, crime is different, right?
Yeah, crime's completely different. And pedophilia is a crime.
Of course, but we don't have that here.
No. I mean, our world is so fucked up. I mean, if you just look at our lineage as human beings, I mean, there's been young boys in bathhouses since dudes have been taking baths.
It's an unfortunate situation today.
Yeah. I mean,
But,
it's like child trafficking. You can't traffic anything if there's not a fucking huge demand for it.
Oh, there's messed up motherfuckers all over the place.
So I know. I mean, we're blowing up motherfuckers left and right in 22-foot long boats, and all they're trying to do is get a little powder to the fucking Americans that are fucking whiffing it.
Well, we don't know that. We don't know what those boats were.
Well, it'd be not. I mean, to me, those boats don't go faster than a Black Hawk. So you could definitely fucking take a Black Hawk and fucking commandeer one of those boats. And if you had to fucking use a sniper or fucking a marksman even to take the fucking, you could spray it with a machine gun and not blow it up to where you at least have the proof of the fucking drugs that they were bringing.
Have we gotten any names? Do we know anybody who's, what are there, 21 boats, 22 boats?
Shit, I think we're over that now.
Are we? Okay, so...
And it's like,
Who are these people we killed? Do we get to know that? Does anyone get to know that? Or
I know
we
I
just-
can tell you who they aren't. They're not Epstein, because that way we'd have to bring up the Epstein file. So we'll just blow some motherfuckers up.
So this is just everything but the Epstein file. Right? This is
Everything.
anything that can happen tomorrow. You know what? I did think that there was some merit to that, Kevin.
Everything's
Today,
coming up roses. Everything's coming up Epstein.
Trump released a statement today saying that the Democrats
How do you let me ask you a question.
punished by death.
How do
Did
you
see
fucking
this?
how do you sign a bill that was a fucking hoax 72 hours earlier?
Well, when Bondi said nothing to see here, you mean? You're talking about the
I'm saying
to
President Trump
release
said
the
it was a
Epstein.
hoax. But you validate the fact that it's not a hoax by signing the fucking bill? Like, what is it? Is it a hoax? Is it not a hoax? I just know that if I was being charged, if it was just an innuendo that I was a pedophile, and there was anything that could be released that would clear my name, I would do everything within my fucking power to get everything out unredacted. I mean, but call me crazy.
that's the indicator of guilt, right? When you see something like when there's a crime, when someone's wife is killed, and the husband lawyers up right away, I'd be like, take my fucking DNA, do everything right now, so you can move past me tomorrow and get the fucker who did this. Always an indicator of guilt.
I just started watching a great fucking show on Netflix. And I don't know if anybody out there has watched an episode of The Beast in Me yet. But it's Claire Danes' new I think it's eight episodes. I'm so bad with actors. It's the guy that was the star of The Americans. Do you know the actor?
I don't. If I saw him, maybe. Didn't watch The Americans.
Oh,
Not
I did.
watching
I
this.
thought it was great. Matthew Rise.
Okay.
And he is a billionaire that has been charged of killing his wife, but her body was never found. And he moves in next to Claire Danes. Claire Danes is a author, and she's writing a book on the Supreme Court, Ginsburg and Scalia, whatever the fuck the name is. And he's like, Borefest, and he says, you should write a book on me. She starts to write a book on him. I'm 4 episodes in. It's fucking excellent. But
What's it called again?
It's called, what is it? The Beast in Me.
Okay.
It's the #1 television show on Netflix right now, if you pull up series. And just...
It's not part of that trope, is it? Well-to-do suburban women in trouble
No,
because of one of the white husbands. Is
this smart.
again?
This is it's done by the same people that did Homeland.
Okay.
So it's just a fucking smart, and just, if you don't have a couple hours, don't even get involved, because I was going to watch 1 episode last night with Tamara, and fucking ended up watching 4.
What's the show that Fanning is in right now?
The one I read for? Girl's Got a Problem with Money or whatever? Is that out yet?
I don't think it's that one.
Is it Elle Fanning? Which Fanning?
I'll say Dakota. Just because I have to throw something out there. She's good in something now my wife had on, and I kind of poked my head in because she
I
was
didn't see it.
she was good. You know what our fans did see? Our show last week, Kev. All her fault. That's it. That was the one. Mr. Berger says, I can tell you as an amateur high school wrestling coach, you 100% show technique to the biggest guys and the smallest guys different. It's different styles, different pace. It's straight different. And Kevin's thoughts are 100% correct that you can't teach size, but you can teach how to use size. You can teach technique, but for every individual, it's going to be personalized to their body type and size. In this week's broadcast, Kev, did you see, were we doing that correctly in WWE?
I'll tell you, one of the things that stuck out in the Raw for me was Maxinne Dupri went over on Becky
Yes.
for the women's IC championship.
Distracted by AJ Lee.
Yeah, but so I follow Natalia Natty Neidhart, and she has a wrestling school. Her and her husband do TJ, and it's called the Dungeon, it's down here in Florida. And I watch a lot of times because they'll run the camera and show young talent working out. But a lot of people from the WWE would go down there because she's so gifted and in her ring ability, like chain wrestling and everything else. But there's just certain people that they have all the knowledge in the world, but they just can't teach it.
Sure.
And she can teach it. So I don't know, maybe it was 3 or 4 weeks ago. Her thing came up, and I was watching this. I watched her go through it, and I watched this kind of tall blonde girl kind of go through it. I'm not really paying attention, but the girl does exactly what Natalia tells her to do, and I'm just like, wow, fuck, like that was impressive. And they do a couple of different things where it's chain, and then she takes. And then the girl, the blonde hair girl, continues through on other things that she has definitely learned, and she puts together like a little series of counters and everything else. And I just go on to the next thing I'm looking at. Maybe 4 days later, another thing comes up, and it's this same blonde hair girl. She's in a different outfit. So I know it's not the same day. And I'm just like, fuck, man, this girl's putting some fucking time in it. She's good. Mm. And then because it's shot, like it's not close up. It's just shot. And I'm just watching the action. I'm just watching it because, I'd like to watch. I think chain wrestling, when done in Natty's style, is really good because it makes sense. It's not let me toss you, like it's not that bullshit style that the AEW does where you both do do 9 moves and roll around and then stop and each do a Power Ranger punch the fucking mat. So I'm looking at the girl. I said, boy, I know her from somewhere. And I'm like, fuck, that's that Dupri girl.
Maxine.
Yeah, I'm like, that's that Dupri girl. So, and then I watched her wrestle, I don't know, a couple of weeks ago, and I was just like, fuck, she's gotten a lot better. It was from Sacramento. She went over, but she didn't end up getting the title, but she beat her at her hometown or whatever. And then, so she was at the Garden. And I'm thinking, wow, man, this is this is the Garden. I don't give a fuck who you are. Like, you're wrestling Becky for the fucking IC title in the Garden. And she fucking, at the end of this match, the only thing, there's little things that I would tell her, like, slow down, take, like, too much motion with the punches. Like, those are wrestling punches. Those aren't fucking punches like you would. Those aren't strikes. Like little bits and pieces. But when she rolled out with AJ and they took that beauty shot of her in that green outfit holding that fucking belt with that fucking face and that overall package, I'm like, fuck. Like, and then you know, it's like nothing against Becky, but I'm like, that's fucking money. That girl's fucking money. She can talk. She can work her fucking ass off. And she's she's a new face.
Yeah.
Like and I was so impressed with that because to start out with John in the Garden was, I actually, you know, for me, there's very few things in this world that give me the fucking chills still. I'm so jaded to the business, I guess. But man, he came out there and he went to the left first, and so his back was to the handheld guy, and I think he turned. I think Stu must have been on the camera because he turned, man, and the smile and the look on his face was just like fuck, man, like this shit don't ever fucking get old. And he said, let's go, Stu. And they went down to the ring, and you know, he slid in, and that was one of the loudest sustained pops in a fucking, and that Garden's a big ass building, and that's to me it was so, I just felt like I was a part of something that'll be talked about for a long fucking time, like Cena's last time in the Garden, and it was so perfect on Raw, and it didn't matter whether or not he worked or had the tag match. That was fine. Then it kind of went, and so I was high off of that. Then I got the that buzz from Dupri. And there was a couple other things that happened throughout the night that I thought were fucking really well done. The show was well paced. Everything fucking fit. All the pieces of the puzzle fit perfect. We get to the end of the night, and lo and behold, it turns into a fucking schmaz, and out comes Brock. And it's just like there's everybody on the roster, and then there's Brock. And he slid in the ring, and Punk came at him, and it looked like an AI of a fucking silverback throwing a fucking poodle around.
Doing the German suplexes, yeah.
Yeah. And then fucking Cody came at him, and I one thing I noticed, man, and Cody needs to fucking watch this back. If you're listening, Cody, if you're going to take that fucking suplex, don't look back over your fucking shoulder. On that second one he took,
I was gonna say it was kind of the half landing, and that's yeah.
He looked over his left shoulder. It's like, don't fucking dude, take one and get the fuck out. Nobody says you got to take 33 fucking bumps that if you know you land on your fucking cervical wrong, you're gonna get fucking paralyzed. To come in and take his other fucking shit. If you're not comfortable taking that fucking suplex, don't take it. Old fucking rule. I don't give backdrops. I don't take them. You know, that's what I tell people all the time. Don't give them, don't take them. Don't give Germans, don't take them. Nobody broke their neck until the German suplex came into pro wrestling. Nobody. When that German suplex came in, that was the one that started everybody getting hurt.
Well, listen, let's talk about the jackknife for a minute. There's opportunity if you're the recipient and you're not flat backing as best you can and you're not tucked, you could get messed up from that too. That same effect if you're kind of half turned. No,
I pick you up and I lay you flat.
Yeah, but on my way down, it's kind of up to me to position myself.
You got to just, all you got to do is sit up. All you got to do is sit up and then fucking tuck your chin. It's the same. It's just a flat back bump.
Just take the ride.
Yeah, I never sent anybody. I never like threw you with force where your fucking knees went back over your head. I never did that.
Right.
The only person I came close to fucking killing was Paul, Big Show. And he was too big.
Well,
I
it's
told
the
I told him
size, yeah.
I told him that night and date, and I said, dude, if you put on too much weight, I can't get you. And he's a great athlete. And he said, nah, you can get me. We'll do it. And fucking before I jackknifed him, I threw a pot of coffee in his hot coffee. It was supposed to be, but of course it was cold. And so now I'm picking him up sopping wet on top of all that. And it was just like,
Obviously wasn't at the Garden. If you had
no,
coffee
it was
back there.
actually in the O'Hara Arena in Dayton, Ohio. But
Yeah, he's like, some guys are too big for a fucking power bomb.
well, I mean,
Hey,
got him. I got him plenty of times.
I know, but like, God, the fucking for him to get up. I mean,
to fucking pick that motherfucker up.
that's what I'm saying.
I mean,
it's both of you.
You're still picking, no matter what, you still got to pick up 500 fucking pounds and get it at least. It's like a 500-pound deadlift, but fucking to your bottom rib. Because you've got that to your bottom rib is when they can start to snap up. You've got to get
gotcha.
you've got to kind of get their ass and hips to your bottom rib so they can sit up, and then the momentum forces them up with you.
Got it.
So,
hey, you know what is too big? Maybe Big Show wasn't too big for a jackknife, but Kevin, people's wallets when they get loaded with credit cards and cash, and you got a big lump of leather in your back pocket.
it throws your
It's
fucking
brutal.
lumbar out.
Absolutely, and some people like drive and they keep the wallet in there, and your pelvic bone is being moved awkwardly, unevenly. Well, listen,
Cervical
ridge,
spine.
your cervical spine, for God's sakes, Dr. Nash. Listen, ridge is the answer.
It's actually your lumbar spine.
You weren't going to get tested. It's fine. More than anyone listening. If there's any doctors out there, excuse us for the cervical versus lumbar argument. Hey, listen, either way, lumbar, cervical, Ridge has you in mind. What am I talking about, Ridge? Ridge has expanded their product line, but I am so in love with the Ridge wallet, and you're looking at it right there. The technology, when you look at it, it looks like nothing. It looks like this little metal. Well, I have an aluminum one here, and then I have the softer one here with a little texture on it, too. Makes it a little more slip resistant. So the two I have, I'm wildly in love with. And you look at it, it looks so basic. Little money clip on the back. The cards go in the middle. They just slide out with a little pressure from the backside. And Ridge 2.0 has arrived. And that's what I'm holding in my hand right here. It's the most refined version of the Ridge wallet. They've been perfecting this wallet for 12 years, okay? Everything is better on the 2.0. 10% lighter. Every gram matters in the Ridge Wallet 2.0. They found the perfect balance. And they made it more modular with the improved cash straps on the back. Money clips, air tag attachments. Never have to worry about losing this again. Premium materials like the aluminum, which I have here. Got the carbon fiber here on my orange one. And I have cards in these. And look at the profile on this. Look at how narrow this is. It's so comfortable. Almost anything you're wearing has room for your Ridge wallet. And they're secure. You can run this goddamn thing over with a tank, and it's still going to come out the other side. Over 100,000 five-star reviews. Proof that Ridge is a gift that people are going to love to receive. And you know what? Have some peace of mind. Okay, knowing that all Ridge wallets have the RFID blocking technology, keeping you safe from digital pickpockets. For a limited time, Ridge is having a huge Black Friday sale. Head to ridge.com, RIDGE.com. Get up to 47% off, not 46, 47% off. This is by far the biggest discount that they've given all year, certainly since they've been with us. That's ridge.com for up to 47% off your order during the biggest sale of the year. After you purchase, they're going to ask you where you heard about this glorious little creation in my hand here, and you're going to tell them, click this to support the show. Thank you, Ridge. Use that code KLIQ, K-L-I-Q, for your deal.
You know that ribbed wallets for her pleasure.
For her pleasure, absolutely. At Roms86 was watching last week and said, I love the way Kev worked. He'd get the opponent into the corner by any means necessary and just maul the guy to rubble. He made it look like a proper fight with a 7-foot monster. His slow pace actually complemented his style.
Imagine that.
Signed, Dave Meltzer.
Imagine having a fucking clue.
Bay Giant 89 really enjoyed Kev sharing the costs and specs of his gear during the Diesel days. Is there some authentic Diesel gear out there? Would be nice to see Kev on A&E Most Wanted Treasures. What remains from Diesel?
Nothing. They tried to get me on that show, and I made it such a farce of it that they basically cut my entire segment out.
You shot it with Mick, right?
With Mick, yeah. And it was. I was listening to a podcast today, and I'm not gonna. It's a wrestling podcast. And I was just, because I like to hear other people's opinions on what's going on. And there's nothing that irks me more than when they say things like, here's an example. Maxinne Dupri should give Natalya a title shot for the fucking help that she gave her in winning that, like it's real. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? Like,
here's the thing. Don't you think that today's wrestling fan, and since I don't know, since the 90s, since The Observer, since Meltzer's and Wade Keller's sheets, and wrestling fans became smarts, or smarks at least, right? Don't you think that we're okay to talk about this like a business again? Like if this was a show about Hollywood, if this was a show about television, we'd be talking about the contracts, the writing decisions, all that stuff. We would never be talking about it like it was real.
To me, it's one of those things where it's a performance. It's scripted television. It's like, I don't understand how. I mean, I did it for 30 plus years, and fucking I don't have this fucking. I guess that's the difference between being a fucking mark. You're a mark. You don't know. You don't fucking know. You haven't done it. You can have an opinion, but if you ain't done it, man, you know what? It's like if you've never had a piece of ass in your life and you watch porn, you definitely have an opinion. But if you ain't busting a fucking nut and doing fucking A to Z, you ain't got a fucking clue. You can, and you know what? When people fucking tell me, and you've said it before, you said, yeah, but I don't have to fucking be a chef to tell you whether I like a fucking meal or not. Okay,
Correct.
I get that. But you tell me if you're a virgin and you can talk to me about getting a piece of ass with the same proficiency as somebody that's been getting it their whole life.
Well, here's the difference. I'm going to answer that. I'd never deign to talk about the process by which the chef prepared this meal and say it's right or wrong or whatever. But I can tell you it didn't work. I'll know it didn't work. I don't know that the eggs were whisked too long or that the marinade didn't sit. And I think that's where anyone who wasn't in the ring, if they begin to start to talk technical and talk the work, yeah, overstepping the bounds. But I can 100% tell you that I think you, me, anyone from the outside may even have a better perspective on wrestling or a movie than people who are too close to the forest to see the trees sometimes. Sometimes a fan's perspective, not about the technical, not telling you what you did wrong with the jackknife.
But
I've never given one.
I disagree because, like I said, if your penis has never been in a vagina, I don't give a fuck how big of a fan you are of fucking watching it or thinking about it. You don't have an inkling. And if you
to criticize what? To criticize what?
No.
Technique? I agree.
No.
But to say that scene wasn't hot?
You can't tell me what it's it's the emotion of it. It's the actual process. If you don't know what it feels like to get a piece of ass, but you're a fan and you think you're fucking I'm telling you right now, the one that's closest to it, as in the one that's getting the ass, he's got the best perspective of anybody.
I disagree. Because it's being performed for the camera. It's a product. So the consumer looks at it and
talking
goes,
about ass. I'm not talking about porn.
Oh, well.
I'm talking about actually fucking having sexual intercourse and you've never done it before. And then you watch porn. Because you've never done it before. So you haven't wrestled. And so you haven't
wrestled or not, I can tell you that match was not entertaining. I may not be able to tell you why, may not be able to tell you what this wrestler should have done differently, but I'm the audience member. I'm the judge and jury about what you just did in the ring. And I'm going to tell you, match didn't have enough heat. I didn't get excited. That actress in the porn wasn't hot. It looked like she was faking it. Dude looked like he was thinking about doing his laundry. I could tell you that.
Yeah.
I'm actually the only one qualified enough to tell you that because I'm watching the product. I'm eating the food.
But you still have never taken a step outside the fucking space capsule.
So I won't tell you, again, about technique or what you're doing wrong because that's outside my purview.
I disagree. You can have an opinion, but there's no way that somebody that's actually having intercourse is too close to the product.
I'm a football fan, right? And so over the years, I've been critical of coaches, play calling, the decision to fake a punt, whatever it is. I've never been on, I was on the field as a kid playing Pop Warner football, but I've never played professionally or at the collegiate level, the NCAA. But I feel I can tell you, shit, man, after that kicker shanked 3 today, why did we send him out there to do a 60-yarder? I could say that.
Yeah.
I can't tell him he's kicking wrong. He should plant his foot differently, and that's beyond me. But I can certainly be
I
critical
can go
of what
into
I'm
the
watching.
Louvre and I can look at the Mona Lisa and I can say, I don't get it.
Art's a little trickier. We went porn, wrestling, art, only on this show. Proud to say.
I'm just saying though, like when I saw the Mona Lisa, I just kind of went like, very Mount Rushmore.
And I think, as
But when
the
I went
viewer,
to
you can say that.
when I went to, I mean, yeah, but I mean, my opinion doesn't fucking matter. It's just my opinion.
But
That's
it's
what.
the only one that matters because you're the consumer. My opinion, watching Diesel versus Razor, my opinion is the only one that matters because you're doing it for me. Times 20,000.
We're actually doing it. We're actually doing it for the guy that signs a check. And
He's having you do it for me.
That's what fucking people don't understand. You can make all the fucking people in the world fucking happy. If the guy writing the check's not happy, you're fucked. And that's what people don't know that haven't done it.
I'll accept that. I'll give you that.
Yeah.
James Weston wrote in and asked, do you consider Sean Oliver NWO? And if so, what would his entrance music be? Kevin rifling through
let me
songs
think.
about...
Let me just think. The NWO theme?
Maybe he meant house show music. Like when
that's up to you. That's
I
up
get to choose that. That's good.
Back in the middle with me.
K3 and K4. Nash's record for Triple Crown is awesome, but his ability with Florida Man Jersey Guy might even be more impressive. I'd agree. Although tonight we're gonna get you. I think tonight the streak is broken. I have a feeling. Apache Cash, 1970. I read your statement of how good Paul is running WWE. That is a joke. He's one of your friends, of course. You're going to lie and cover for him. WWE has become a joke with the bullies. Always win motto. If they don't win the match, they attack the winner. At least with Vince, good guys could win every once in a while.
Okay. Yeah, you're right. And by using words like bully and good guys, I'm pretty sure that you're probably sitting on Santa's lap somewhere if I can give him your list right now. So God bless you, Tiny Tim, wherever you're at. What a fucking jack off.
I started to read it, and I thought we were going to get, maybe some good discourse here.
Yeah.
And then it
Bullies.
became working. It was a working email.
No, it wasn't working. It's just fucking, but that's his opinion. So, I mean, I guess I am too close to the fucking business because I thought Monday's show was fucking pretty damn good. And I guess I shouldn't have been rooting for that big giant bully that came out at the end and tossed everybody around.
He was really a bully.
He was such a bully. Thank God Roman came down and threw that Superman punch at him.
Okay, so let me ask you, I'm glad you brought it up. In guesting on shows, I sometimes tire of the same 10 questions, right? And I'm sure you, for your entire career, have had that. But I think that makes one a better host because you are aware of it as the guest, and you're like, wow, I got to keep things interesting as a host. What makes
we're not
interview
hosts.
for you? No, we're not.
Hosts.
But I've interviewed people before.
Yeah,
With
but see,
I
we
always
don't-
had you guys on.
I don't interview people, so I have no desire to interview people. There's too much shit going on to.
But as a guest, what makes a good interview? When do you leave an interview and go, that was pretty good? Who was I talking to recently that interviewed you? Oh, God, I'll think of it in a second. They were doing... God, God, I'm trying to remember. He was working for, at the time, he was working for, he was involved with the making of the Randy Savage documentary. And he wanted me to tell you that he enjoyed the interview with you, and he kind of walked you out afterwards and had some personal time. God damn it if I can't remember who this is. And I was a little surprised that he was doing that documentary because he's doing something else. I'll think of it. Anyway. So what
I kind of remember, because that was one that's, like Randy and I was very close with Randy.
Yeah.
So that was a hard one. That was, I just didn't. Randy just had landed in a place in his life where he was just, when I talked to him, he just seemed so fucking happy. Things that came full circle, and he was back with his first love, and it just fucked, man. He had a heart attack.
Yeah.
Just like, ugh.
But what makes a good interview? When you walk at an interview and go, that was fun. I'll be back. I'll come back when you call me. What has to happen? What do you have to be talking about? How do you have to feel?
I mean, it just depends. You'll get out of me what you put into your thought before you ask your question. If you fucking give me some, name your favorite opponent. Are you fucking kidding me?
Mount Rushmore.
Like, it's number one, like, I was a pro wrestler. I'm done. I don't do that anymore. And we don't talk a lot about wrestling on this show.
No, we do a sufficient amount to keep the category.
But I mean, there's been shows where we haven't talked about wrestling at all.
They were great shows.
I'm just saying, though, it's just
felt good. No, it felt good getting off the air.
I just
talk about something substantive.
There's so much. I mean, when Meacham and guys like that are authors that I fucking admire and fucking are writing, and everybody seems to be writing about the Constitution and about it being the 250th birthday of our country next year, and how close we are for this fucking beautiful experiment in democracy and freedom is teetered up until about fucking 7 days ago. And then all of a sudden, I mean, this Epstein thing just, which was never going to go away, and I don't think anybody that ever thought it was going to go away. And when you sit there as a human being and you listen to the victims and you can say it's a hoax, if you can be that detached and then turn around and say, shut up, piggy, to somebody, and you're horrible, you're a horrible person, you're a horrible interviewer. It's just like the amount of toxicity that we have as a country. And it's just like for a split second now, it's starting to feel like everybody's starting to get over this gigantic divide. I mean, because when you're talking about sex trafficking and abusing children, I think that's a common bond that we have as human beings and as Americans, that we all draw the line on that. And I think that it's going to be so fucking sad that that's what galvanizes us in the long run. And I think that it's going to be so fucking sad that that's what galvanizes us in the long run. You know, that the fucking because the Republicans voted for the one guy from Louisiana, you know, voted no. And his reason was because there might be some guy that served a cup of coffee to one of the pedophiles that might get named on page 7. And I was just like, wow.
I'm just not confident that when I say we, I'm speaking for the populace, won't take the bait on all these other things, like you said before, the distractions, the flash bombs. I'm not sure that the media doesn't take the bait, and I'm not sure that we won't take the bait.
I won't.
Following other trails.
I won't. It's like having an argument with somebody, and they all of a sudden they start taking the argument in another direction, and then they try to fucking throw some fucking flattery to you, and you're like, no. Let's go back to what we were fucking originally talking about. The fact that you broke into my car, and you took my fucking wallet. Oh yeah, that. And I just think we have to do that. We have to do that as a fucking people. We have to do that as a nation. Because if we don't stop this shit now, and I'm not, as far as I'm concerned, I have not heard fucking one iota of evidence that Trump did anything.
No, and I don't think you will.
Right. So if my president is fucking clear, but he's got, if he's fucking taken up for buddies, that's fucked up, man, because now you're complicit. You know, it's like, it's like the fucking, the tight end coach, the red-haired kid that fucking watched Sandusky molest the kid in the fucking shower. And he didn't go in there and beat the fuck out of Sandusky. But he blew the fucking, he blew the whistle on Sandusky.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck you, dude. You couldn't have, I would have killed Sandusky if I saw him molesting a child.
Right.
And that's what's, I mean, we've got to fucking keep our eye on the ball. This is about fucking children, man.
I agree, but there's a very big effort to distract, and the media takes the bait. It's not the top story all the time, and the shit that is inconsequential.
But it's only going to have
now somebody
the UPS plane crash in Kentucky with the graphics they had and the shock and awe still only got 72 hours of coverage. I mean, so we've been talking about this Epstein thing for a long fucking time. It isn't going away. And they can
I hope that's the case.
Well, it's not going to, because it hasn't.
But all right, do you think anything? You think we're going to get a smoking gun in any of these investigative files?
Yes.
Okay.
Because we haven't, because of the Kennedys, all the shit that this country has, from the 9/11s to all the bullshit that we've fucking taken and fucking, like, if this is just one more, then you know what? Then if this is just one more and this is what our country is, then it's not what it fucking says it is. It's not the home of the free.
I'm not so sure it is anymore, Tim.
You know?
Yeah.
But everybody wants it to be.
But everybody's idea of that is very different right now from each other.
Yeah, but how many... I have so many fucking people that I have discussions with that were fucking just pro fucking red hat motherfuckers. and I send them fucking shit on Instagram. That's, it's just, it's information. And they won't fucking come back with, yeah, you're right. I was wrong. I should have saw this coming. They'll send me something that they know that we'll both enjoy in response. Like, not,
Meaning it's a concession of some kind.
it's just that because I know if you watch Fox News, you're not going to get that. I was watching all the news channels, and there two of them were talking about the Epstein files, and Fox News I flipped to had a 14-month-old coverage of the amount of people that were coming across the fucking border under Biden's administration, and it looked like a ride at Disney World. It looked like the express lane, and that was, so they're and it's just like okay, so Operation fucking fuck up some Latinos in Charlotte's in full swing. That's not going to take my eye off the ball.
Understood. Kev, Greg Trumbold, in reference to Get Blitzed, he said a few weeks ago I ordered a 4-pack of Kev's Key Lime to try out. Not a big weed guy anymore, but we've been looking for non-alcohol alternatives. The drink and buzz were good. Because of this hemp-derived THC nonsense, I ordered a 12-pack. They'll take me months to get through, and I will probably start stockpiling just in case. And you guys need to do the same. You need to go to Get Blitzed, grab our Get Blitzed Lit Aid, Kliq This mixers, pre-mixed, Kev's Key Lime, Sean's Blue Raz, and help out Mickey Ray and Courtney. This is a crazy time in politics. Who knows what's going to happen with these? But both these and their Delta 9 THC sip and syrup could be on the cusp of annihilation. So stock up. The sip and syrup is like, you be your own mixologist. Take a teaspoon of that and put it in the drink of your choice. Or I much prefer to have it pre-mixed for me, and that's what the Get Blitzed Kliq This Lit Aid mixers do. Kev's Key Lime, Sean's Blue Raz. And if you're in Maryland, you can grab them at a Stay Lit smoke shop. But for the rest of us, it's legal to ship. Right from the Get Blitzed website to almost all 50 states without a med card as long as you're over 21. And right now, get 15% off that massive stockpiling order by entering the code KLIQ at checkout, KLIQ. Go to get-blitzed.com. That's get-blitzed.com. And either grab that Delta 9 THC sip and syrup or get those Get Blitzed Lit Aid mixers in cans from your friends here. Kliq This. 5 milligrams. It's a very chill, mellow experience, and that's why our friend Greg Trumbold, so enjoyed the flavor and the buzz. Thank you, Get Blitzed. Kev, we touched on Raw. I watched Raw, but I wanted to ask you a couple of things about Raw. There were 2 music hits that were significant in the beginning with Dom and Cena and that whole thing. Like when Ray's music hit. And on commentary, they've got to be shocked every time it happens. And it happens 4 times a night. And every time you're Michael Cole or whoever, if it's a pay-per-view, whoever's doing it,
it's a new guy now. Because he fucking does like college football, NFL football. He does boxing.
Right.
And everything that he fucking calls is that over the top. Everything in the world is not fucking over the top. it's
But could he, or whoever's doing the announcing, when Roman's music hit at the end, right? I don't think it was unexpected that was going to happen.
no, he's looking at the format right in front of him. It's saying
I know that. But I'm saying he's trying to call it like a football game, right? He's trying to call it like legitimate sports. But in legitimate sports, wouldn't the play-by-play guy turn to the color guy, or the color guy turn to the play-by-play guy and go, yeah, no surprise, they tried the onside kick there, and
yeah, but it's not even that. It's if they fucking lined up and they showed the fucking patterns in yellow fucking lines where the guys were going before they ran the patterns. That's what like, how many fucking week after week after week does somebody in the middle of a sentence, they start the music and they just go, and then stare up to the ramp. They've been doing it for 30 fucking years.
I know. So for realism's sake, don't you think the announcer should go, and here comes Roman. We know this was going to happen. What's going to happen now? Like oh my God, Roman.
Why can't they? But I don't understand why they can't let fucking things happen organically. Once his music plays, and then it goes to graphics on the fucking board.
Which was prepped? Yeah.
Yeah. Then are we? All of this shit takes precision. All of it takes timing, and fucking somebody's back there going, "Go."
Yeah. You know what? Great point. And recently, I'm working with Vince Russo and ICP, and in the stuff he was writing, he would put in there, if there was something spontaneous, someone called someone out, he would put in there for Joe, don't have music hit. Wait, don't have or have one come out and look around, wait for the other one to come out. And that's what you're saying, right? If it's going to be spontaneous, it has to look like if you just got called out, maybe you're fucking across the building somewhere, and your partner's, maybe he's closer and he goes out and waits for you. Make it look real.
I've made this analogy 1,000 times. If you watch a soap opera and you're at the monitor and the scene before your scene, some guy's making out with your fucking wife. And then you go to the fucking bar in the next scene and he's standing there talking to two guys, and you go over and you punch him in the face. And he goes, "What the fuck's that for?" He goes, "I was watching the monitor and I saw you kissing my wife at that last scene." Like, you can't do that. You can't live in that fucking world, and that's what the wrestling world is, and that's why we sit there and go like this.
Yeah.
Like, until there's action, is it really, like, what was he gonna do? He fucking came and fucking went down. He was gonna go, like, wouldn't you call it? Wouldn't the build-up be better if you built it up as the fucking thing progressed? Instead of going 150 miles an hour as soon as you see Roman, wouldn't it, as he fucking got closer to the ring, you kind of fucking ramped with him? And then when they engaged, then you fucking do the crescendo when fucking he blows Lesnar out. Now there's a fucking ebb and flow to the action. It's not all fucking at 10 or fucking, in the case of fucking because it's pretty much Spinal Tap. I think we're at 11 every fucking, we're always at 11 on pro wrestling. But it's the same thing as fucking Stephen S. Smith on fucking Stephen A. Smith on the NBA. And he fucking, or him on the fucking morning show where he goes into these tirades that some guy that came off the bench missed 3 shots like it's the end of the world. And you wonder why the fucking Epstein, like, nobody's reporting the Epstein files like that. That's what we need to do. We need to fucking report the Epstein files like they do fucking pro wrestling.
That would be if it wasn't about such a danger, a tragic subject. That would be a very funny bit to have Michael
But
Cole
I mean, there's
calling
still
the,
parts.
Epstein
There was a uncoverage of the dialogue between Bannon and Epstein, and Bannon did that documentary on Epstein. But it's like they're basically fucking throwing fucking Hitler barbs and bullshit back and forth. I mean, I don't know. It's hard for me to fucking to. I use the pro wrestling like what happens by doing a show is you don't just sit there and go pro wrestling like everybody else gets to, because you have to analyze it.
Mm-hmm.
You have to talk about it on Thursday, what you see on Monday. So you have to analyze it so you don't enjoy it. I don't know. I used to always wonder why fucking what the fuck was those two guys' names?
Siskel and Ebert.
Yeah, that hated each other, Siskel and Ebert. I just they never seemed like they. It seemed like watching a film was like going to have a root canal.
Like watching a bladder be removed or
Yeah,
something.
It's like, and that's what happens when you do this with pro wrestling. And like I was listening to Busted Open the other day, and they talk about pro wrestling, and they get so worked up and excited over like switching the angle to this, and it's like it'd be like if you and I were doing a show on the football game, and we were just like, and could you fucking imagine if fucking he wouldn't have shit the bed and fucking not missed a pass the whole game? It's like, I don't get it.
See, a show like that, which is on all the time, I just feel like at a certain point, you have to start to manufacture content, like beyond what's interesting to you, beyond what you even want to talk about. It has to become a job. How do you talk about the state of wrestling every afternoon? What are they on for, like 2 hours or something? An hour? 2 hours? I don't know.
I listened to Bully and fucking Dave. I listened to them for fucking a good 20 minutes talking about when Dolph came down and the kid from NXT and what they could have done different. And they had some great points, and they had some very valid points. And, you know, Bubba's smart as he's got a good mind for the business. But at the same time, it's like, yeah, that would have worked and that would have worked, except guess what? You ain't booking. Like
the what ifs. You mean like the
well, to me, it's just like
Monday morning quarterback.
Do I have to sit here and say, am I the only one that during the final segment of Raw, it looked like somebody put a black tarp at ring level around all the action except for what was going on in the ring? Did anybody see Bronson? Did anybody see Breaker? Did anybody see any of the schmaz that was going on outside? Did they ever cut away from any of that? They kept what Brock was doing in the ring was fucking.
Yes.
That's all they covered. And it's so it's how do you? And there's no way that Lesnar is going to fucking work a full schedule.
No.
So now you've got to come back with Vision and Paul Heyman and fill a couple of weeks to get to. I mean, it's like you can't. You can't have fucking Jimmy Page come in and fucking and hit a guitar solo and then fucking not be seen again with the band for fucking.
I know that, and that's the risk you run.
Yeah.
When I don't know what his deal is like now, Lesnar, but yeah, you're right. It's not going to be.
I know Brock when he broke in. The last thing Brock ever wanted to do was to get on a plane, drag a bag, and do anything. I mean, I thought it was hysterical this week to read the fucking coverage of how many people thought that the Lesnar in the fucking WrestleMania ad was AI. Who gives a fuck?
Yeah,
it's Brock.
Well, all of those, I mean, all the ads, they used to be drawn, right? I mean, like they were like, I remember ads where they were artists.
But I'm talking about the WrestleMania, the big WrestleMania one where they're playing poker.
Yeah, I know.
I mean,
everything's going to be AI'd now. It's an ad.
And it's the
the
production quality with AI is getting to the point now where it's not as glitchy. It's not, I mean, especially when you're using it for print ad. And people are like, there's something wrong with Brock's eyes. Yeah. Maybe he fucking flew in the last fucking flight from Saskatchewan or wherever the fuck he lives now. And it like he had a rough travel day.
It's just odd that anyone would care that a poster or a one sheet is an artist rendition or an AI or the real person. Who gives a fuck?
When I looked at it, I didn't fucking think of anything except, well, it looks like Brock's going to be a part of WrestleMania. He's fucking featured.
Exactly.
He's one of the
Shouldn't that be enough?
He's one of the 4 people featured in the ad.
So crazy. Hey, Charlotte really cleared the fucking ring. Did you see her swinging that kendo stick?
2 times. They all do the same thing. You come in with a chair, everyone. It's the pro wrestling rule. You come in with a kendo stick. You use it 3 or 4 times, a couple shots on each person. Once they clear, you get rid of it.
Right. Well, she beat the ass off these girls consistently. Well, they weren't powdering either, so she was doing it until they did.
That's the whole thing, though. You would, if it was real life, you would
get the fuck out.
You would beat them with that, or you would beat them with that stick until it was a toothpick.
Right.
I never understood the fucking 2 chair shots, kicking underneath the fucking bottom rope, and then it not be the finish. Somehow the guy kicks out of the fucking second chair shot. Like maybe the third, maybe if you fucking would have hit him a 3rd time, maybe if you would have hit him 53 times. I don't know.
JCW Lunacy. New episodes every Thursday night at 7 p.m. on YouTube. For over 25 years, JCW has delivered the very best in pro wrestling entertainment, bringing fans deep storytelling drama, gut-busting comedy, and unbelievable in-ring action. From wild characters to unforgettable rivalries, don't miss a single moment. Tune in every Thursday night at 7 p.m. on YouTube. JCW Lunacy.
What did you think of the Cena finish, where they all took the finish? They were all laid out. They took the you can't see me.
Yeah, that's icing on the cake for fucking.
I thought so.
A celebration.
I thought it was effective.
Yeah, that's. I mean, you I saw something the other day. It was one of those. They do it a lot now on Instagram with people that have passed. Or they'll say, like, they'll show a picture of somebody. Like they showed a picture of Sinbad the other day. and Sinbad is in a wheelchair right now. I don't know, I think he had a stroke or something.
Oh,
He said, like, I'm 79 years old now, but I used to, and then they do the CGI thing when they walk backwards in time. And they show all the things that the person has done. And Cena has been over for so fucking long that you go back to like fucking 2006 and he's like Thugonomics, and there's like a 3 or 4 year period there when they didn't know what to kind of do with him. They see him when he was the prototype. Like, you see his progression, and then you see that period of 15 years when he'd go into a building and half the people would say, let's go Cena. Cena sucks.
mm-hmm.
Like, he went through that period, and then he went to the period where he was just like, he was so far superior mic skill and everything else that he became that GOAT. He became one of the greatest of all time. And it's so weird to watch that progression, and then to finally get there, and to know the fucking toll that it's taken on his body and on his mind, and how long he fucking trained with 600-pound squats and 500-pound deadlifts, and and that was in the morning while he was on the road. And the time that guy put in, and all the Make-A-Wishes and everything else, and to watch it come down to him hold a little tiny towel up that says last time, and it's fucking the Garden, which I don't care what anybody says. Business has changed, but that's still the home base of the WWE.
Yeah.
And always will be. That's it. That's the Mecca. That's you know, that it is what it is. And to sit there and watch that on Monday, it's just like, you can talk about AEW all you want. They couldn't produce that moment, and won't be able to produce that moment for another fucking 30 years. Because they just don't fucking have it.
Right. Well,
Nobody's got that kind of... No, right. They just don't fucking have it. So it's like... comparing those two and talking... And that's the whole thing, is like when I listen to some of these wrestling pods, they go into depth on... I thought so-and-so should have got a push because... You know, the picture of her with her bloody face last Saturday, you know, she should have, I thought that was going to be her turning point. I'm thinking, and all I'm thinking in my mind is, I saw that, and I thought of the movie Carrie when they dumped blood on her. Like, that was my, like, I didn't think, like, wow, she should get a push. Like,
yeah.
But
well, speaking of a push, BLUECHEW, one of our probably our oldest sponsor here on the show, still with us.
Definitely.
177 episodes later, and still making it happen for us, Kev, one thrust at a time. They are the original brand offering chewable tablets for better sex. You want to leave an impression, so you're going to want to be ready for her whenever the opportunity arises. So give her group something to talk about. You know, when you lay it down, they're talking about how it gets up. So make sure you're going to be at peak performance. It's just about confidence. It's just about knowing that you're going to be ready to go. And the process for BLUECHEW, that's the real gold here. It's all done online. You will go to BlueChew.com and look at your options and talk to a licensed medical provider, and then your prescription is provided. And your shipment arrives within days. It's all done online. There's no pharmacy. There's no doctor's office. And you can go to discover your options at BlueChew.com. And as a special deal for our listeners, as we always do, your first month of Blue Chew is free. Just use the promo code NASH at checkout. Pay $5 for shipping, and that's it. Join Blue Chew's mission to upgrade humanity one thrust at a time. Head to BlueChew.com for details and important safety info. Thank you, Blue Chew, for continuing to be in our corner. Kev, one more thing about WWE. CM Punk was quoted on, let's see what show he was on. He's talking about the pay structure and how the new pay structure has affected WWE locker rooms as opposed to back in the day when he was talking about when his pay was based on what the house was and where you were on the card in relation to the.
Well, there was still a downside, but it was, I don't think anybody had over $1 million downside.
Right. Okay. He said, quote, I mean, the business has radically changed. It was a different place when I signed than when I debuted. And then when I came back, it's such a radically different place. The thing with the title, too, is it means you made more money. That doesn't exist anymore. He said it's good and bad. Like, we all make more money now, which is thumbs up. But we, like my paycheck, was always predicated on how many people were in the building. So I was driven towards ticket sales and the business of it. And when you're in the main events, you got paid more money. And now everyone's just kind of on a salary. So I think that's good and bad. It's good for the boys. But also, I feel there's not the same ambition. I always wanted to be in the main event, and it got me more money. And now I think now I don't care if I'm in the opening match because I'm still going to make the same. And I can shower and watch the show. You agree?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if you go back to like 99 NWO, I don't think Scott and I had a fucking match we gave a shit about because we knew we were going to get our guaranteed money.
Right.
So, see how I tied all that in?
Yeah, no, but it's true. And you famously, you tell about the famous Hogan quote when he would cinch up a hold and say, relax, bro.
Yeah, brother, we already got their money. No, I understand it. I understand what CM Punk's saying. But we still, like, Scott and I still went out there. Nitros were what they were. And anybody, you'd have to have been there. And thank God we had the stroke we did. And we're getting paid because there were so many times, man, that we didn't have a finish to the main event going out to the ring. And because you can't have anybody that has creative control that's in between those ropes.
Right.
That you just can't do that. So for Phil to say, it's based on drawing, and I don't know, man.
Could you do a system where, you mentioned the downside guarantee, where, listen, Brock Lesnar, Roman Reigns, we know where these guys are going to be working on the card. Giving them a guarantee, a high price guarantee, might make sense, right? So if your top guys got, like, the franchise guys.
I think Roman is the top paid guy at 12.
Okay.
I think Phil makes 10 or 9. So You just came back and you're in the top 5 paid guys. That's your. I mean, it tells me why our royalties are what they are. Because you used to it was $1 million downside, and you worked off that $1 million to make more than $1 million, and that included your royalties. So if you made $700,000 in royalties and you made $1.9 million live gate, then that was what you made. But since you've got a guarantee now, and it doesn't go against what you fucking earn as far as your fucking merch, now that whole fucking wheel has been fucking up. So it's the guy that's fucking that's still in the fucking old fucking system that's getting fucked. You're not getting fucked, Phil.
Right.
I'll take the guarantee. Where's he at?
Who?
What is
Punk?
it? What is this here?
Salary.
This is
estimated
various
salary.
sources have everyone's salary. I'll find out Punk's.
Yeah, but this is. I mean, come on, Roman Reigns, 5 up to 15 estimate. Like, really? Could you be fucking any more vague?
Well, 5 in 2024, up to 15 million in 2025.
So he got 5, and then he got three times that much for
$10 million raise over a year.
and he did nothing. Let's. I mean, it's.
Yeah, I don't know the source. So, but anyway,
I mean,
point being,
I've seen so many different fucking breakdowns of their fucking pay.
right. Well, hey Kev, how about a little Florida man jersey guy? Let's bring it. Let's break it down. Let's break it down.
Do we have to?
You were put over for your. Do we have to what? Do the game or break down the show?
Yeah, let's just go. I'll play.
Okay.
I don't want to hear I was put over by anyone.
In Florida man?
Yeah, I don't
No,
want to hear anybody said anything that about. I'm fucking over it. I'm over being fucking judged and talked to about my performance in any form or fashion by anybody,
Including Florida man.
including Florida
No
Man.
problem. All right, here are the 2 headlines. If you're playing along at home, one headline, an actual Florida man's activities as caught by the news, and an actual Jersey guy. First headline, man charged with killing woman who paid him for her own murder. Second headline, police arrest man.
Say that again.
Okay, man charged with killing woman who paid him for her own murder.
So a man was charged for murder, and he actually murdered the person.
Murdered the person who paid him to
murder them.
her. Yeah, a suicide in a way, I suppose, a hired suicide.
Murder, but yeah, okay.
And then police arrest man after he got into a fight with himself.
That's a 50-50.
Just a vibe. What are you feeling? It's not an intellectual process sometimes. It's just
But it is, because it's basically a probability and statistics. Okay, I'm going to go on. Some methed out motherfucker could fight himself in Florida really easy, and a fucking contract hit would feel more New Jersey.
You see, my mind, I thought that's where you'd go, and it's actually the opposite. The Florida man was paid by somebody from some fetish website to kill her, and so he did. This is Dwayne Hall, who
That's fucking James Storm.
I was gonna go with. I was gonna go with Skinner. What's his name? Steve Kern. But yeah, Sonia Exelby's body was found in a shallow grave in Marion County last month, and police have arrested a Florida man on kidnapping and murder. Gainesville. She was picked up at the Gainesville Regional Airport by Mr. Dwayne Hall, and she had transferred $1,200 to him to go ahead with the deed. And our friend in Jersey who got into a fight.
That's who he killed?
I guess so. So that's the name, Sonia Exelby, yeah.
She's attractive. I mean, in the photograph.
Yeah, she was. At a Wawa, see if I'd put this in the title, the Wawa, but I used the real headline. You probably would have gotten New Jersey.
No, because we got
Gentlemen.
Wawas down here.
Oh, do you? Okay.
Yeah.
Gentleman found acting in a suspicious manner in the convenience store in a New Jersey Wawa in Little Egg Harbor was seen punching his face and scratching his eyes. No word on exactly what happened to spark the brawl with himself. ABC did report that the self-hating street-fighting man topped it all off by pulling down his pants and exposing his genitals. So,
Obviously a Fight Club fan.
after a good, yeah, well, we can't talk about it. True Classic is what I have on my chest right now, Kevin. I love the shirts. I love the cut of the shirts. They're made for a man. They're cut the right way so that we can represent. And looking good and feeling good should not come with the designer price tag. And we agree here. 25 million shirts sold to 5 million customers, more than 200,000 five-star reviews. True Classic has become a staple in closets everywhere, and that's what makes True Classic the perfect gift this holiday season, whether you're shopping for your dad, your brother, your partner, or now even the women and kids in your life. That's right, True Classic has expanded yet again. They've literally got something for everyone now. I've been wearing True Classic since they came into our lives, Kev. You called them the hanging t-shirt. I so agree. I love my True Classic tees and jeans too. Skip the guesswork, get rid of the overpriced designer aisles, and give comfort, confidence, and True Classic a chance. You can find them at Amazon, Target, Costco, Sam's Club. Head to trueclassic.com /POA for the perfect gift for everyone on your list. It's tailored where you want, relaxed where you need it. There's no bunching, no stiff fabric, no BS. Just a clean, effortless fit that actually works for real life. trueclassic.com /POA to grab the perfect gift for everyone on your holiday list. Kliq This, the Kevin Nash podcast. STOPBOX USA has been in our lives and in your zeitgeist now for weeks. If you own a handgun for self-defense, your storage is likely going to fit into one of two categories, and it can be frustrating. It's either locked away, it's safe, but it's out of reach in an emergency, or you've got it unsecured, which is a whole other dangerous situation. It could be vulnerable to anybody in the house. STOPBOX USA saw this problem. They solved it. They've got the groundbreaking solution called the STOPBOX Pro. With the STOPBOX Pro, you're never going to have to choose between security and readiness again. Its ingenious push-button locking and unlocking system right up here is what it's all about. And if it's dark, you know, you're really going to want to be fumbling with a key or trying to key something into a pad that maybe the battery's dead. With STOPBOX, your fingers fall right onto the buttons, and with a pattern that you've designed and programmed, it's open. It's that fast. I did it in a half a second, all right? So you can have security, you can have readiness. The mechanical keyless system allows for fast, secure access. All the STOPBOX products proudly made here. No talk about tariffs or anything of the like. High quality craftsmanship. Every product sent out is been created by a company that creates meaningful jobs here in the United States. Traveling with peace of mind is easy because STOPBOX Pro is TSA compliant. You can securely and conveniently transport your firearm through checked baggage. The holidays just got a little safer, okay, and a lot more affordable. For a limited time only, our listeners are getting a crazy deal. Not only do you get 10% off your entire order when you use code NASH10 at checkout at STOPBOXUSA.com, but they're also giving you a buy one, get one free for their STOPBOX Pro. Ridiculous. 10% off and a free STOPBOX Pro when you use the code NASH10 at STOPBOXUSA.com. Thank you, STOPBOX. Go grab it. All right, Ask Nash. This is where we do it.
It's fucking 10:15, man.
It sure is. You asked for 2. We're at 2:10. So, yeah, send me somebody who has a question for Kev. Somebody from our 11 Soft group, courtesy of KliqThisTV.com. Hi, Ivan. Ivan's True Family Stories. I came across a video of you and Scott Steiner in WCW working an angle where a dad pays $60 to take a photo with his son, but Scott Steiner fixes his bicep to cover the boy's face. Hilarious. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Was that one of those impromptu things that, like, you work out when you're just doing the segment?
I'm sure that back then, at that point, we kind of did what we want. That was, they had an idea for something, and I'm sure we just commandeered it.
Right. Very good. Thank you, Ivan. Edgar Watson. The U.S. is the only modern country that lets rail systems die. Interesting.
No argument here.
Yeah. Infrastructure. Spider Drummer 24. 3 more venues for your opinion. Hara Arena in Dayton, Tupelo Coliseum, Mobile Civic Center.
Hare Arena is where I thought it was O'Hare Arena, but maybe it's Hare Arena. I actually played a high school all-star game there, basketball. That was a weird arena because it's much like Tupelo, where you can actually, it has like a drop ceiling in it. Maybe all 3 of those have drop ceilings. They're all not exactly
St. Garden.
Yeah, I mean, you don't get a Frank Lloyd Wright vibe when you walk into any of those 3.
Supreme architecture.
Yeah, like,
architectural design. Thank you, Spider. Blair, 1985. Did you ever get to spend much time around Lord Alfred? Watching videos of him on The Vault, and he's absolutely hilarious. Him and Mooney were an underrated combo on commentary.
I don't even think I think he was gone by the time
Lordship
I got there.
Was gone and might have been dead.
I got there in 93. I don't think he was anywhere around.
Yeah. All right, send me one more, Steve-O. Stars on Sports. What are some red flags you look out for when dealing with doctors?
I'm so particular. I mean, I've had the same my I don't know what they call it, your general practitioner, your doctor.
Yeah.
I've had the same doctor as my friend. I've had Dr. Woodard's been my doctor for like 30 years, and I mean, it's just there's nothing that's better than to have like an old school doctor that has kept up with modern medicine. But if you go
That's a tricky combo, though. It's tough to get that.
You walk in there and you show him your elbow, and he's like, "Yeah, that's poison ivy. Get this cream," and you're in and out in 2. It's just, And then at the same time, it's just like, yeah, but that could be. And then, we need to get this test done. And next thing you know, you're in an MRI tube. So trust is one of the things I look for. I've got to trust them. And the only way I can trust you is we have to have time. My surgeon is done. He came to me when I was having an elbow issue at TNA. He said, let me look at that. And he said, he basically, I'd been dealing with this wound vac, and I mean, I had 6 months of hell with this elbow, and people were telling me that it was septic and all this other bullshit. And he said, no, man, you got something going on. And I went in for an operation the next week. He moved the tricep aside. A piece of my piece of my bone in my elbow had gotten broken off. And he basically, behind my tricep and in my elbow, was about 30 shards of, it looked like,
Oh my God! It shattered. The bone shattered.
but it looked like, but just a segment of it, but it ground around in there for so long that it was like, it looked like if a goldfish had teeth, like they were that small. But he just sucked all that shit out and fucking sewed me up, and in 2 weeks I was fucking training like it was nothing.
Wow.
So just the fact that he did that, then after that, it was just like, and I'd been to all kind of specialists and everything else, and everybody missed it except him. And he's young and he's built, and he can, like, I need somebody that can, like when I just had my last surgery with my elbow and my bicep, like he'll if it takes him 45 minutes to dig around to find my bicep tendon to reattach it, he'll spend 45 minutes. And this time it got to be 45 minutes. He still couldn't find it, and had to make an incision down below in my bicep, go in, dish it, find it, and then basically pull it out, lay it through that wound, and then take it back up through a larger incision in my shoulder. So, I mean, it ended up scar-wise being, a couple of much larger incisions. But my whole thing is I don't give a fuck about, I've got so many scars on me anyway. I just want to be repaired. And he took the time knowing who I was and knowing how important it is for me to be able to train. He fixed me. And I had a guy today, and I was in the gym. He goes, God, your arms have really gotten big. And I'm thinking, well, that's good to know, because I was in a fucking sling for 12 weeks not moving it. So,
Yeah. Kliq This is a production of Butch and Sundance Media, produced in association with Podcast Heat, created by Tristan Nash, Kevin Nash, and Sean Oliver, producer Steve Kaufman, graphics by Dominic D'Angelo, title sequence and audio edited by Wesley Burleson, theme song by Dale Oliver, no relation, technical research by Tristan Nash, copyright 2025, Butch and Sundance Media. Kev, do you want to do another one?
yeah, miss you to you.
Let us free. The customer service never